This is already. We have just talked
What
about.
did you do?
I tried to. I thought that I could move a scene without actually activating the scene. Turns out that you can't do that. No BS. So hi everybody, welcome to GameStack podcast episode 92, Shalineless and Shameless, part 1. Yes, actually, shouldn't this technically be part 2? Because I thought we
I
did.
think it is part 2.
No, we did
Yeah.
a Fallout show. That was just the two of us.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah. This
So-
is actually the first Vendor and Rick GameStack episode without the boss.
Yes, that's true.
So we'll try not to screw it up.
Well, we've already
Just
We've
pretend that
already
didn't
done
happen.
that.
It's fine.
I'm Rick McVick, and with us tonight is Mr. Vendertron.
Hello, Rick, coming to you
Hi.
from the only place in the world where people are no longer legally required to isolate when they're positive for COVID. So there you go.
Wow. Okay, wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
Hmm.
Rick, me neither.
Well,
A little bit mad about that.
good luck with that up there.
That's my shout out to Dr. Dina Hinshaw, our Chief Medical Officer for the province of Alberta. You have made a terrible decision. We know you're towing the line. Just step down. I won't be mad at you if you step down.
Ooh. Well, yeah. Real quick, I do want to make mention of why our dear Shalene isn't here. And
Oh yes, we are Shalineless.
we are Shalineless. I fired her. No.
Oh God.
See, I set this up to like lessen the blow. No, they're. There's no easy way to say this. Her grandmother has passed away this past week, and she just needed to take some time to kind of deal with the loss and be with her mom and stuff like that. And so if we could send positive vibes, thoughts, and prayers and stuff for Shalene and her family during this time. And we're dedicating this episode to Shalene's grandmother. If you're a part of the Discord, you have most certainly seen pictures of Shalene and her grandmother's adventures from time to time pop up in the lobby and other places, and they were very close. And yeah, so that's been really rough on Shalene, and we wish her well, and because we all love her, and we hope the best. And we'll see her soon, but she just needed to take some personal time this evening, so we'll dock her pay, and it'll all be good.
Yeah, and if you're in the Discord, and I'm sure that you want to send your condolences and love to Shalene, but maybe give it a little bit of time, give Shalene a little bit of space. But we do want to dedicate this episode to Grams and her wonderful life. So.
All right, we are also like this is. Do you ever? Never mind.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
We are also sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. This is so weird to transition. That's all I'm saying. It's just a weird transition.
Well,
so,
don't do it yet. If you're
what
listening
am I supposed
live,
to do?
if you're listening live, everyone, welcome to the show. Happy Friday to you. We love that you are all here with us. Grab yourself a beverage, pop a squat in your seat, and get ready, because Rick and I have a real roller coaster of a show for you. But don't forget, host us on Twitch. Tell your friends about the show. If you're not listening live and you're listening after the fact on all of our plethora of different platforms that we're on, Stitcher, iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, Twitch, etc., give us a shout out or a review or a 5-star review, and we'll shout you out on the show. We love your support and all of your love.
Where was it that someone was saying that they wanted podcasts now?
Audacity now hosts podcasts.
Audacity?
No,
Are you sure it was
Audible.
Audible. Okay.
Audible.
I was gonna say, are you sure it's Audacity? Because I'm pretty certain that's not Audacity. Audible.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I'll have to look
short of a load today, so
I'll have to check that out. Another way that you can support the show is by going and checking out our sponsor of tonight's episode, Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head to oakandcrow.com, on the artists page down at the bottom, I believe there is a option to buy our very own We Just Love Coffee blend. It is very delicious. I'm currently out. I need to re-up and get some more. But the real cool thing about if you go to oakandcrow.com and buy our We Just Love Coffee blend, $2 of every bag sold goes to Children's Miracle Network. And,
let me rephrase that. When you go to Oak and Crow and buy our coffee.
Yeah, it's true. When you do. It goes to Children's Miracle Network. Very specifically, it goes to Johns Hopkins Children's Medical Center, which is a nonprofit Children's Hospital. And so yeah, so the coffee is a blend of two different types of coffee beans. It can be used also as an espresso. It is very, very good. And it comes in whole bean. I think 12-ounce bags. I think. But anyway, it's very delicious.
I've got
Vendor
it here somewhere. Somebody was
designed
drinking.
the. We got to put the logo on the background because that was part of
I'm
the
not happy
stipulation.
with the label. I want to redesign it. Because I seen everybody else's cool labels on the Oak and Crow site, and I'm like, what? Ours is like so plain. It looks like a government document just slapped on the front of a coffee bag.
Well, it's delicious and regardless.
Well, anyways, the blend is called Peru Cayamarca, Guatemala Huehuetenango. It's a blend. So remember that. There's going to be a quiz at the end of the show. So.
Yeah. Although we should have labeled it Hugh Tenango because but yeah, so head to oakandcrow.com and grab a bag of We Just Love Coffee. All right, there are some new Discordians, Mr. Vendor. Would you please welcome our new Discordian people?
Oh, sure. So we've got BG Maze. Welcome to the Discord. Also, Travaclaws. Not to be confused with Travel Claws, which is never mind. Wayward Satellite, welcome also. And Deus Mortem, who I think is back as somebody else. Some other personality.
Yes.
Their account got hacked or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember what the OG name is, but they're back. Not from the corner of shame either. They're back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could consider a corner of shame because you didn't remember your password. That's a you problem, not me.
Yeah.
People can join the Discord by scrolling right down below the stream live. Right now, if you're listening in, the Discord link is there. You can also just shout us out at our social media accounts on Twitter. We just love games, or at Rick McVick, and Shalene at Shalene L, myself at Vendertron N, and we can provide you with the Discord link that will bring you directly in. The Discord has been pretty busy this week. Food Stack, Plant Stack is, I haven't looked at the stats. The stack stats, but I'm pretty sure Plant Stack is probably top 5 now. Yeah, and we've also added a new channel, Screenshots and Stories, which is meant to bring your video game content into the community. So share your screenshots and maybe some of your stories of in-game play, and we will share them on the show.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. All right, now. Tonight, we have some news, some gameplay, and some game stonks for you guys. Yes.
To the moon.
Huh? To the moon? To the moon.
To the moon.
All right, but before all that, this just in. Well, it's July 30th, and in a couple days, it'll be August already. This year is already rolling by.
Can I just interject here and just say that Sullivan in the chat said Plant Stack is growing like a weed?
I wasn't going to give him the credit for that one, but yeah,
classic dad joke. Okay, continue.
And yeah, so we're going to get into August, and we all know what happens when we have a show that's right before August. That's right, we have our new releases and the free games that are coming in August, and then we'll post this in mid-August and miss everything.
We talk about it before it happens, but when you hear it, it already happens.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
Everything that you hear right now doesn't matter anyways.
No,
I don't even know why we do this.
I don't either, but it's fun. It's for the few people who join us on Twitch. See, that's right. It's kind of a Twitch exclusive.
It's an exclusive for the VIP viewers that are here religiously every Friday with us. Right. All 2 of you.
Starting off on Monday, August 3rd. I think that's Tuesday, August 3rd, we have Hunter's Arena Legends on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. Lemnis Gate, PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Also, Rocket Rumble on PC.
That sounds like fun.
Rocket Rumble. Are you ready to rumble?
Is it like...
I don't know.
Is it like a gay bar? And there's like... Oh no! There's actual rockets. Okay.
Yeah, I would not imagine it.
Now I'm not as. Now I'm kind of disappointed. I was was hoping for something different, but I'll leave that up to your imagination.
Okay, moving on to August 5th. We have the Falconeer Warrior Edition for the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and Switch. And then also, apparently the same day, is the Falconeer Edge of the World DLC coming out for PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox
Okay,
One.
okay. Now, don't get me wrong, but it seems like a bad business decision to launch both of your DLCs on the same day.
Are they both DLCs?
I don't know.
Because,
Maybe.
I thought the Falconeer Warrior was new for the PlayStation 5
Oh,
and
it could be.
4 and Switch, but then the
Yeah.
DLC comes out for the ones that's already on. But it is a little odd to see that if there's no context.
Right.
I guess we're supposed to know what all these games are. I don't know what the Falconeer is. I'm assuming it's a Falconeer simulation, which is fine, I guess.
I don't even know what a Falconeer is. So yeah.
Really? It's the dude that has the falcon on his arm and he hunts with the falcon.
Oh, with the rubber thing.
Yeah, he's got
the leather thing on his. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a Falconeer. I'm assuming it's a Falconeer. It matches. Also on August 5th we have Starmancer. Gosh, that sounds so. It sounds like a made up.
Can you do it in your gay voice?
Starmancer.
It's so good. I love it.
But Starmancer sounds like it's making fun of like a class. Like, well, I'm a level 100 Starmancer. Like it just. I hope it's good. But that comes out for the PC. On August 9th, we have Glyph for the PC. And moving right along to August 10th, we have Godfall for PlayStation 4. Lawn Mowing Simulator Vendor for PC and Xbox Series X. Are you excited for this game?
I am so excited. I don't know if you guys remember, but on a past episode of GameStack podcast, I played the demo.
And how was it?
And it was pretty damn good.
I feel like
pretty darn good.
I feel like that game could get sponsored by Manscaped. Is Landscaped?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
August 11th, moving right along, we have Glitch Punk for the PC. And then, Foreclosed on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia. That sounds like it should have a trigger warning of some kind. Foreclosed. August 12th, we also have Naraka, Blade Point on PC. OCO? It's just OCO. I don't know how you... Oko.
Oko Shisho.
Oko. PlayStation... no, not PlayStation. PC. August 13th. This is awful, guys. I'm sorry. August 13th, you have Hades on Xbox Series X and Xbox One, along with Paw Patrol, Adventure City Calls. Adventure City Calls.
Whoa.
That's a weird one. Adventure City Calls. Paw Patrol. Anyway, that's PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Switch. Then we also have Shadowverse, Champions Battle on the Switch.
Oh.
There's a theme running for August. A lot of one-word games. Like, it's almost like they went in the opposite direction of, like, the long titles, and they're like...
So this is my theory. They listen to the show, and they hear all the jokes that we make, and they're finally starting to catch on.
So they're just like, let's just call it Glyph.
They're like, we should probably do away with the colon. Yeah.
Today we went out to a game store, and our kid was with us, and I was showing her like the Atari cartridges and stuff, and I was like, see, these are so old you could just call them what they were. Battle. Baseball. Golf.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going back to this a little bit. Godfall. Glyph. Starmancer. And the next one is Greek. Greak. So there you go. That comes out on August 17th. It's actually called Greek: Memories of Azur. That's on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and the Switch. Humankind. See, look, perfect. It's just one word. We understand what it's about. I'm assuming humankind. That comes out on August 17th as well for the PC and the Stadia. And
Did you know that that's a Sega game?
Sega. Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
it
what
is.
I don't know what
it's a Sega
about
game.
though.
It's like Civ kind of.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. And then you've got also on August 17th, Pile Up! Box by box. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Switch.
Now that sounds like riveting fun.
I mean, some of those stacking games can get kind of challenging, you know, to like get skinnier.
Oh, look at these little boxes. Oh, they're so cute. They got little eyes.
Now I gotta look.
That one's kind of creepy, but
Pile up
oh, look at them. You
box
pile up and it's a big
by
thing.
box.
Oh, I wonder if it's like a puzzle platformer and your boxes and you have to work together, like stacking, you know?
Oh, that would make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, that's cute. Are those French fries? Oh, I need to buy this. Okay, sorry.
Woo.
Getting a little distracted there.
Sullivan in chat says my son just bought $2,800 in Sega Saturn games. I hope you were aware of this. Hope that wasn't like an accidental purchase. All right. It's weird.
Next week's headline: Son buys $2,800 worth of Sega Saturn
Without
games
parent knowing.
on parents' credit card.
We're like, we know that guy. Dude, I'm starting to get a little worried about my kid. She's super intelligent and also, like one of those like kind of kids where like I hope that she's not like gonna grow up to be like a serial killer kind of thing. And I don't think that's the case. I really don't. But the other day something happened where like I'm starting to question that. Where we're going on a week long vacation in August, and my wife was like, maybe we should get we gotta fly, and they're like, maybe we should get our daughter a Switch, like her own Switch, just to like kind of keep her occupied throughout the vacation and the flight. And so we're like, we go to our daughter and we're like, hey, do you want? Let's. What if we get you a Switch and like Pokemon Snap and some other stuff, just to kind of have for your own? She was like, nah, nah. Like, who are you? What if? But you played them. Like, why don't you want one? And she just didn't want it. Like, something wrong with you, kid. Who doesn't? What kid?
Rick, I think you're just getting old.
What kid? But she plays video games
Back in
all
my
the
day,
time.
all the kids had Switches. Now these kids don't want to play with Switches and blah, blah, blah. That's where that's going.
She plays
And I
video
think you're
games
just
all the time. It's not like she doesn't play video games. She plays them all the time.
maybe she's growing out of them.
No, but that's the thing.
Some
She's still
people,
constantly playing.
you may not believe this, but some people do grow out of video games.
But no, she's not growing out
Not
of it.
me,
She's getting more into it.
but I hear that some people grow
I
out of
just
that.
find it suspicious where a kid is like, nah, I'm cool on toys. Actually, no, that is true. She does not like toys. Anyway.
Well, maybe you should get her into crypto because, like, you might get that house sooner than you think.
That's true. Actually, where she's the most excited is a hardware store.
Well, I mean, what's
loves all
that?
the
What's that game with
Bob the Builder?
No, it's Ripple Coin or Robe Coin or something where you mine Bitcoin, and it's a
Really?
game,
Oh, really?
and you play it, but you get Bitcoin.
Okay, I've never heard of
Just
that
saying.
one. Rumpelstiltskin. Where were we? Were we doing a thing?
We were up at pile up box
right.
by box. Yeah.
August 18th gives you Out of Line for the Switch, and on my birthday, August 19th, you get Monster Harvest PC on the PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Switch, along with RIMS Racing, Rims Racing, for the
Ooh.
PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series 1, and the Switch. Also, on August 19th, you get 12 Minutes. Oh, right, that game. That game is, Shalene's been pretty interested in that.
What's that song? Is it? We only got 12 minutes to save the world. Actually, I think it's 4 minutes. It was Justin Timberlake and
because I would
Madonna.
know. Yeah,
Madonna.
I would know exactly that song because those two are on my frequently listened to list.
It's the things that keep me up at night.
12 Minutes is on PC, Xbox One. I couldn't think of anything. And that's available on August 19th. August 20, Ghost of Tsushima.
Sashimi.
Ghost of Tsushima. Director's Cut.
I'm just saying, if I owned a sushi restaurant, there would definitely be a Ghost of Sashimi on the menu.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That would be it's like got ghost pepper sprinkled on it.
It's really hot.
Burn the heck out of your mouth. The Director's Cut comes out on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 on August 20th. Madden 22 comes out on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. It's not that I'm disliking football games. It's just the fact that they just kind of reskin it and stick it out. And they're like, here's the next one. It's no innovation. August 24th nets you Aliens: Fireteam Elite on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. This has me intrigued because it's like Left 4 Dead, but Aliens, like the movie
Ooh.
franchise.
Are you going to
So
play it?
we'll see if we can drum it up for Survival Horror Sunday. So we'll check that out.
Okay. Okay.
August 24th also gets you Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, PC, PlayStation 5, and PlayStation 4, along with King's Bounty 2, PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. On August 25th, you get Psychonauts 2 on PC, Xbox X, and Xbox One. August 26th, you get Hotel Life. Sounds like a sim game. PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, and the Switch. And then on August 27th, you get No More Heroes 3 on the Switch. Book of Travels on the PC on August 30th. August 31st, it's the last 4 years all over again, called The Big Con.
Starring a certain former president.
Sorry, no politics. PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One on Xbox. That comes out on August 31st. And along with Crown Trick.
The sequel to Big Con.
Crown Trick.
Oh,
no.
Crown. I thought you said clown.
No.
Clown Trick.
PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Kiwi, like Keywewe, not like. Yeah. PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Sullivan in the chat says, is 12 minutes adult interaction simulator? No. 12 minutes is about where I think your wife gets killed, and you have 12 minutes to figure it out before the cops come and arrest you, and you have to keep it. It's on a loop until you can figure it out.
He was making a funny about boinking. Rick.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be 12 seconds?
I don't know what it's like for you, buddy. But...
So, Rustler comes out on August 31st. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch, along with to be TBC. What's TBC mean? To be continued?
To be
announced?
To be coloned.
To be coloned.
Oh wait, no, that one has a colon already.
That would be Ambition : A Minuet in Power. That comes out for the PC sometime in August. And then Doomsday Vault comes out for PC and the Switch also sometime in August. All right, so games this Gold this month, you get the Darksiders 3, which is available all month. And then Yooka-Laylee is available from August 16th to September 15th. Lost Planet 3 is available all month. And then Garu, Mark of the Wolves is available August 16th through the 31st. Those are available if you have Xbox Live Gold or Game Pass Ultimate. And moving on to PlayStation Plus.
I feel like that lineup is really not their best lineup that they've had.
I mean, they can't give away gold every month.
I know, but last month it was like Sea of Thieves was free, and like, or was it the month before? I'm not sure. Anyways.
So, if you are a PlayStation Plus member, you will get free access to 3 games from the PopCat and EA catalog, including the Plants vs. Zombies: Battle for Neighborhoodville, and Nacon's Tennis World Tour 2 for PlayStation 4, and Hunter's Arena: Legends for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Those are available for download via PS Plus starting August the 3rd. So there you go. Those are the PlayStation Plus free games for this month.
Just a note, PlayStation Plus subscribers can still download July's games: Call of Duty Black Ops, WWE 2K Battlegrounds, and A Plague Tale: Innocence until August 2nd.
That's a lineup.
Sega's Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown, released in June, is also available through the PS Plus until August 2nd as well. And then August PlayStation Plus games will be available for download until September 6th.
Nice. There you go.
Yep.
And that is all the games for August.
Man, that was a lot of games.
It was. It was August. I mean, a lot of indies on there. It looked like, but yeah,
Yeah, I mean, August is a weird time because like the kids are going back in like a month
vacations.
and lots of vacations happening and yeah, I don't know. August is a weird time.
Yeah, I feel
In
like
Canada, everybody in August is freaking out because like winter is around the corner, so we all get like depression and anxiety and then like the world collapses, but um
jeez. Come move to Canada. It's a friendly place.
yeah, it's wonderful. Nobody leaves their house for 9 months out of the year. Um Speaking of not leaving your house,
Mm.
Annapurna Interactive had their
What?
first games showcase on Thursday, which was a digital showcase, as is expected with most of the game showcases that have happened over the last 2 years. And the showcase kicked off with the colorful action adventure game, The Artful Escape. And it was confirmed for release on Xbox consoles, including Game Pass and PC on September 9. Um, the Artful Escape is a 2D adventure platformer in which you play a teenage guitar prodigy named Francis who sets out on a psychedelic, multi-dimensional journey to inspire his stage persona. And that is
So
directly from the game's synopsis.
you do acid to get inspired
Yeah,
to play music.
basically. Yeah. hmm I should also mention that this wonderful article is written by Andy Robinson from VGC. So thank you for putting this together so we can share it on our show. They also talked about a game called Neon White. It is a unique Nintendo Switch and PC title that is a lightning fast first person action game about exterminating demons in heaven. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
That's actually a concept I don't think I know too many games do.
It's
Demons in
a
Heaven.
little bit interesting how they depict heaven. It's very like everything is white and
Oh, oh,
everything is white
racist.
and colonial.
That is, yeah, that is a weird thing. Where's the Streets of Gold? I'm pretty familiar that that place is supposed to have Streets of
Where are
Gold.
the pearly gates?
I was,
I was
well, I mean,
expecting pearly gates.
yeah, I was
Um,
promised Streets of Gold in a mansion.
Yes. So in Neon White, an assassin plucked from hell to compete with other demon slayers for a shot at redemption and collecting soul cards to attack foes or discard for unique movement
Wow.
abilities. So that's an interesting one. That'll be on Switch and PC. They also talked about a game called A Memoir Blue, which is an interactive poem about a superstar athlete and the all-encompassing love between mother and daughter, coming to Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, PC, and the App Store. This game is actually quite beautiful. It looks really nice. It's got some really beautiful hand-drawn 3D art that brings this sort of character to life and showcases her journey as she swims into the depths of her own memories.
Hmm.
So this game might be a pretty good contender for next year's best video game art for the Stack Awards. Um,
I gotta get those awards printed because we really gotta send those.
the 3D, the little tiny ones.
Little, yeah, little awards.
Uh, the next game that they showcased is called A Storyteller, and it is described as a unique and creative spin on the puzzle genre. You're basically given a variety of iconic characters, settings, and emotions to build tales of love, betrayal, and revenge. And you create everything from supernatural fantasies and Shakespearean tragedies to myths of creation. So basically, it's all about, living in that book and creating that story yourself.
Interesting.
They did talk about another pretty interesting game that has the same sort of vibes as Journey. It's called Solar Ash. It is the second game from Heart Machine, the creators of the award-winning 2016 game Hyper Light Drifter, and it's confirmed for release on October 26th for PC and PlayStation consoles. This game has players journeying through a very vivid and highly stylized world where you must traverse different
Luckily,
environments and
I was trying to see this trailer.
experience endearing characters. Um, So yeah, that's also they've got a few more here on the list as well. So Skin Deep by Blendo Games is a first-person shooter which has players stalking through a non-linear starship. So you have to sneak and subvert and sabotage to survive in this sandbox developed game. And you're outnumbered, outgunned, and have no shoes.
That's what made me.
So
That's why I was like, I need to
really
see.
important to consider playing this game. Yeah, currently doesn't have a release date, but PC is the only confirmed platform.
Yeah, I wanted to see the trailer for this because like this sounds really interesting. So
Annapurna is so funny. Some of the final titles shown by Annapurna was Stray, which is the PlayStation and PC adventure game that has players exploring the neon lit city as a stray cat.
yeah,
Um,
this I've been seeing all over the internet where people are like, "Give me it now."
the Stray,
Yeah,
yeah, I think
because
I
everyone wants to
think
play as a cat.
I think I might want to actually like check this out. I think this would be a lot of fun. Um, game producer Swan discusses the gameplay of Stray, and they've confirmed that it's now planned for release early next year. So, mhm. The final announcement of the Annapurna Showcase was the confirmation of the critically acclaimed space exploration game Outer Wilds, and it is finally getting the expansion it much deserves. The publisher and the game's developer, Mobius Digital, announced that Echoes of the Eye, Outer Worlds' final campfire tale, will release for console and PC on September 28th. And this is welcome news, I think, because Outer Wilds has been a very well received game within the community. I've played it myself. It was gifted to me by one of our lovely listeners, and it's a fantastic game. It's very endearing. The
Yeah,
art style
I've never
is
played it.
absolutely awesome. I love it. So there was a couple other announcements from Annapurna. So they've announced that they're working with Outer Loop Games to work on Falcon Age, Jessica Mack for sound shapes, and then Ivy Road and No Code for observation. And those are new projects that are happening. You can watch the full showcase on the Annapurna's website, as well as the VGC related article that's written by Andy Robinson.
Cool.
Yeah.
Real quick,
So
I was gonna say, like, this whole neon white thing got me thinking. Like, Heaven is a very underutilized fantasy scape for games, and I
so is hell.
no, it's not. Hell's everywhere. Doom, all
Oh,
Doom,
Doom.
and Diablo. It's all about hell. Like, hell's always used demons from hell invaders, and it's always like hell and demons. But like, I want to see a good like fun game where like angels like come down and then all of a sudden it's like no like
Oh.
the angels have like here set a game during the descent or the rebellion of Satan and his followers, like when Satan and his angels rebel against like God. Give me that war game. That'd be freaking cool to see. Just like archangel like Gabriel like hacking it and slashing it with Lucifer.
You bring up a good point. I think culturally, it's always been considered as sort of taboo
I think so. I think
to
you're right.
try to recreate heaven or play the character as God or in some sort of yeah.
But like
But
other
just
than
now, when churches are burning left and right in Canada, I think
ew,
people would be interested in seeing what heaven really is like in the video game world.
other than like Bible adventures for the NES, I can't think of a ton of other We should do that I want to do that as a segment, like
Let's do it.
like religious video games. That'd be kind of interesting. Because I used to play Bible adventures on the NES back in the day, and you had like carried like Moses on your head for a while, and you'd throw him. You know, it's
Honestly, I think the video game that I've played that was closest religiously would have been um oh crap, what is that game Shalene and I played?
I have no idea.
It was like a spin of Days of Our Lives. Um
They, Life is Strange.
no, it wasn't Life is Strange, it's
Is
the
it the
other
one with the
one.
amber?
The Council.
Ah,
That was the closest thing religiously that I've come to in a video game because there's
really?
like this priest in there and there's all this religious references and stuff. Um, but other than that, yeah, there really hasn't been
Hmm.
lots of like mythology. in
Gr-
video games,
yeah, like Greek mythology.
but nothing that teeters on the side of like Catholicism or Christianity or
Assassin's Creed used a lot of Catholicism and religion.
yeah, yeah,
Now that I think about that was one that had it prominent, especially in the first 3 games. That
yeah.
was very prominent in the
Mhm.
kind of the lore. But other than that, yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna put that in a segment of like finding like religious centered games. Like, yeah, I'm gonna
I think that would
do
be
that now.
great.
It'd be fun.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, yeah, I don't know how to segue into this next thing, but
Sorry.
it's okay. People are protesting. Religion is a common thing that people protest about. And just now, Activision Blizzard employees are also protesting against the company. On Wednesday, hundreds of employees of the video game company Activision Blizzard walked out. Protesting followed a lawsuit from California regulators accusing the maker of World of Warcraft
Word
and Call of
clap.
Duty. That's a different video game. And Call of Duty of unfair pay and lack of advancement for women and a frat boy drinking culture at the company itself. The lawsuit focuses on details about cube crawls in which employees would go from cubicle to cubicle drinking, leading to unwanted advances and offensive treatment of women. Management eventually apologized for its initial dismissive response to the lawsuit and promised its investigation, but um, this is not going unnoticed, right? So this is an issue of quality assurance, and this wonderful article written in Marketplace by Megan McCarty Carino and Sasha Fernandez talks about some of the things that are going on. So first of all, they said that Sarah Needleman, who covers video games and technology for the Wall Street Journal, said that men have dominated the video game industry for years, despite a roughly 50-50 split among players. At Activision, only 20% of workers are women. California, the following is a transcript of their conversation with Sarah. So she says most of the big game companies only have a handful of women in the high level executive positions. And in most cases, women are in areas like communications or human resources, as opposed to the CEO spot or head of finance or even operations. Today, an estimated 227 million Americans play video games, according to the Entertainment Software Association, which is a trade group, and they estimate about 45% are female and 55% are male. So almost half. Megan McCarty Carino said that the video game industry gets compared to Hollywood a lot. But unlike Hollywood, there really aren't a lot of unions or collective actions in gaming. And why is that the case, she asks. Needleman goes on to say that, well, that's true, actually, even in other areas of tech. But we're starting to see more movement where unions are forming or taking a stand. And we saw that with Google not too long ago, that there's been a discussion of the video game industry and forming unions for years now, but they haven't really come to fruition in a meaningful way. Um, so then she goes on to ask, why do you think that it's taken this long for video games to have this kind of reckoning with these issues like we've seen in other industries before? Needleman goes on to say that, she thinks that part of the problem is that this was addressed in the lawsuit is that women have gone to the human resources department and their complaints fell on deaf ears. So when HR department doesn't have your back, it makes it less likely that other women are going forward. And I think that we've seen this in other companies as well. I have seen it in my own company that I work for. And a lot of women, they sort of just turn off their microphones when they're playing games online because of the harassment that they get from male players. And this just sort of speaks to the type of gaming culture that video games was sort of built on. The classic LAN parties where it was just a bunch of, prepubescent teenage boys getting together in their mother's basement to play World of Warcraft or, Call of Duty or something like that. It's just very common She goes on to say that's something that you see integrated in most of the culture within the people who play games, as well as the companies that make them. Carino goes on to ask, how does what's happening at Activision now compare to what is previously happened at other companies like Ubisoft and the bearing that it might have on its effect on the industry? And Needleman says, I think one of the differences with Ubisoft is that we saw social media pressure inspire some executives to step down. So the power of social media certainly is there. But in the case of Activision, the interesting thing is that they have state regulators stepping in and charging the company with claims of harassment and abuse. So it's a lot different when it's an individual person speaking up, or even on social media, where there's sometimes people are anonymous and you don't really know who they are. This is a different state in which government has sort of stepped in. And so I think that this is a very good thing. I do think that there's a lot of injustices and inequities that exist in many workplaces, not just in the gaming industry, that create disadvantages for women. Um, and this whole sense of this old boys club is really something that is tiresome and old in every workplace, and it still exists today. So so that's kind of the story behind Activision. People are still actively protesting and fighting against that, and I think that it's great. I think that it's wonderful that people are stepping up and speaking out out against it. And they do bring up a good point. Do you know of a video game CEO or a developer CEO that is a woman,
Not that I know.
or that is female or identifies as a woman? So, right? So things are changing. I think that this may be a seminal case within the industry that may create some ripples. Um,
Yeah.
my problem is that companies are going to place people in positions out of an effort of almost like a tokenistic fashion.
Yeah,
So,
that's the line I've always said. Like, I've always been of the mindset of like, you have a standard, and if one, regardless of whatever, meets that standard, then they're able to fill that position. Like, that's kind of how I always looked at it. But um, and that's the way it should be. You know,
the only
we
time the only time in which sex and gender should ever be a consideration is in providing equal opportunity within the interview process
oh well sure.
when considering somebody for a position.
That's yeah
And
yeah. I'm just saying that like
everything else after that, like it's should be equal playing field.
yeah,
um
you shouldn't hire a particular person or type of person just to fill a quota. That's where
right,
things get shifty.
right.
But
But
what I,
what I'm saying is that like equal number of groups of people to have a chance at an interview for that same role.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, um it's just as you know, but what I was going to say was I've been listening to this podcast. There's a group of women who've created an organization called Women in Vinyl, and the whole purpose is to kind of uplift and interview and speak to women who are in the vinyl industry, either if they're mastering engineers, cutting vinyl, pressing vinyl, run record
Hmm.
shops. They interview them and stuff like that, and it's really cool. And something that I had never thought of before, obviously because I don't have that issue as a white dude. uh, I don't face a lot of barriers that a lot of other people face. So, but one of the things I just never thought of before was the optics. Like they were saying that like as a kid, or as like someone who's um, getting into vinyl, like as a girl, there's not a lot of you can't look up and see the industry and see a lot of women to be inspired by, and so that's what they're trying to do. And I never thought
Hmm.
about that before of
Hmm.
like looking up to a quote unquote hero and or heroine, and then it's like now this podcast is help showcasing that where like a young girl who's into vinyl who wants to get into it can be like, oh, there's a girl who presses vinyl or is a mastering engineer or
Hmm.
owns her own record shop, and I was like, I never thought about it like that. And so a lot of the problems with like not having a woman CEO is, you know, inspiring that girl who could make an incredible graphics engine, but she doesn't see that as an opportunity
Yep.
because there's just no, and I never thought about that before. So yeah, I mean, this is important, and It doesn't surprise me that the developers of a game like Call of Duty, where it is a frat boy mentality just to begin with, are getting tagged with this sort of stuff. So hopefully this changes for the better. I would really like to see it change because I'm so sick of these articles coming out, and I'd feel so bad for all the women who have to go through this stuff and just get harassed constantly just to do a job
Well,
that they love to do.
and I think that we're quickly seeing that the video game industry is no longer
Safe haven.
a country for old men.
Yeah.
And um you know um who was it now? Ghostwire Tokyo, Akumi Nakamura,
Yeah.
who was the lead developer for Ghostwire Tokyo, who ended up leaving that position because of the stresses of the job, which I'm sure that there was some sort of inequities and injustices that existed there in that studio. She disbanded, right? And formed her own video game studio.
Mm-hmm.
She is a shining example of of exactly this sort of thing that happens. And I mean, obviously she made some good of it, but I wonder if there's more of a story there. Recognizing that we are two white dudes talking about
This, yeah.
women's rights in the workplace in the video game industry, I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next
I was gonna say
article.
it's tough without Shalene.
Because really it's Shalene that should be here talking about that. And also that would be a fantastic article for dames. Um,
Yeah.
you know who Serena Williams is, right, Rick?
Tennis.
Yes. Serena Williams is one of the most, actually the most successful female tennis player. Speaking of inspirational women, she is one of the most successful female tennis players in the history of tennis, holding 24 Grand Slams, and desperately trying to make 25. I think she's going to retire. Go ahead.
What's a Grand Slam?
Grand Slam is like a tournament, winning a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So like Wimbledon, for example, is a Grand Slam tournament. Yeah. It's a prestigious title that is given to yeah. Um,
A prestigious title. What are you doing?
okay,
Why are you looking down your nose at whatever?
a Grand Slam. Okay,
Oh.
I want to officially, define it for you because I just sort of like eviscerated that. Um, Grand Slam is like an achievement of winning all 4 major championships in the same calendar year. So like if she
Okay.
played Wimbledon and US Open and Australian Open and yada yada yada, that would be, so she's trying to get 25, which would be the most Grand Slams ever won. Anyways, that's not the premise of this article. She is a very successful tennis player and an inspirational leader for women everywhere. And I wanted to share this article that came out today.com, written by Terry Peters, about Serena Williams and how she plays video games. So, yeah, she's an avid player of video games and loves her Nintendo Switch. Apparently, when she's having a stressful parenting day or trying to deal with tough circumstances, tennis legend Serena Williams says that she's learned the only way out, which is through. And she said, when you're going to go through a lot of things, you're going to go through a lot of things in life, and there's no real way to get through it other than to go through it. And she goes on to say that you can't go around it, you can't go over it, you can't go under it, just go through it because it's never going to be easy. But it really builds a different character after you go through the different hardships and hard times. But where her story gets really interesting is that she found that she has realized that playing video games has helped her through some of those difficult times. And she is she's trying to dedicate more me time to herself. Obviously she's a professional athlete, so she does spend a lot of time training, but she says that she loves playing Nintendo's Mario Tennis Aces games. And she
Nice.
said, when I'm just taking some alone time, I'll just sit on my couch while Olympia, which Olympia is her 3-year-old daughter, Olympia's at school or something, and I'll just relax and pull out my Switch to have some fun. And she says, my me time is usually in the afternoon because I feel like I'm going all day. I go, 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 and then come home in the afternoon. And I just feel like I need to take a deep breath and just kind of relax. And Serena Williams, who is married to Alex Ohanian, who is the CEO and founder of Reddit,
Oh,
says that her husband takes over when the parenting duties, when she needs to step away for a minute, citing that she's amazing and does a lot of things to keep her child busy so that she can play video games. But she has Serena Williams says that she has fond memories of playing Nintendo with her own siblings growing up, adding that favorites in her home were Duck Hunt and Metroid. And as the youngest, she also recalls that spending a lot of time watching them play sometimes she thinks may have prepared her for her days when Olympia gets into video games. So she said she loves watching people play video games, and she says that she thinks it's because when she was younger, she was the lowest on the totem pole and she had to wait her turn. So she always ended up having to watch. I thought that was a really endearing story. I'm a huge fan of Serena Williams, having watched her play at Wimbledon and Indian Wells in Palm Springs. She's a phenomenal athlete, and she really is passionate about what she does. And so it's really cool to feel that I have a little bit of a connection with her in that way. So,
nice. Yeah, I like that she plays tennis on her days off.
I know, right? It's so funny because Carlo has a Switch, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he has tennis. But it's like the good, like real tennis with real players.
Oh, right.
Um, and
Mario's not a real player.
well, it's Aces 2, I think it's called,
Yeah.
tennis or something like that. So he plays like Serena Williams as a character and stuff like that. He just loves tennis. Yeah. Speaking of sports, cycling is another cool sport. I love cycling. I don't know if anyone else out there loves cycling as much as I do. But Peloton, you know Peloton?
I have no idea why this article is even in here, so I'm really curious.
Well, hear me out. Peloton is a manufacturer of cycling equipment, workout equipment.
Okay.
And recently they have come up with a new model of stationary bike that is sort of like state of the art. It's got this massive screen on it, and there's all these different programs where you can hold on. Okay, I'm good.
Dry mouth.
All these different programs where you can like play all these different scenarios and work out, and it's really cool. The caveat is the bike is like $5,000. It's just stupid. Anyways, Peloton is looking to make a move. They're launching a video game. And last week, the fitness company announced that they are releasing a video game called Lane Break. It is an in-app video game which users of the Peloton bike can play on its equipment. So the game launches to all Peloton subscribers this winter. Users will be able to work out while using their pedaling speed and resistance knobs to play a music-centered on-screen game and compare scores with other users. So it's kind of like Zwift, which I've used and streamed in the past with my bike,
Yeah.
right? It's also very similar to Strava, but I think it would be more similar to Zwift in that regard. So
I, I don't. Give me like a Rainbow Road simulator where, like, if you fall off the edge, it shocks you in the butt.
um, well, I mean, I don't know what to say about this. I think that the timing is right, given that there's been a lot of people that have been buying Peloton bikes because they've just been remotely working at home and they haven't been able to leave their house. So, it's really difficult to get workout equipment. Everything here is sold out still.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't exercise. It's probably much to my chagrin. But yeah, so like this is just like I could not imagine spending $5,000 on a
5 grand.
bike that doesn't go nowhere.
Let me just tell you, okay, cycling on a stationary bike absolutely sucks. So I would never spend 5 grand
It just seems
on
like
on a stationary bike. Granted, I have a thing that hooks up to my actual bike that makes it stationary because
that makes
winter,
sense. But that makes sense. Like,
but that was also $1,700.
but that makes more sense than like I feel like I don't know. Like this seems like a yacht. I don't know. It just seems kind of ridiculous. But hey, I'm
It's
glad that.
literally like getting more money out of rich people. That's what it is.
And hey, fine.
Um,
They're gonna pay for
but
it.
they've been beaten to the punch. Their Peloton fans may not know that the rival company called PlayPulse has already developed and released a competing high-tech bike
Ooh.
with a focus on gamifying exercise. Now, examples of gamifying exercise has been seen before throughout gaming video game
Oh yeah,
history.
Wii Fitness.
I think Wii Fitness
Yeah,
was
the big
actually
one.
the first example of that, followed by Pokemon Go and other things like that. But
I,
the company itself will fulfill its current tier of pre-orders in December, when the new PlayPulse owners will be able to compete in exercise challenges and things like that. Um, Other tech giants like Apple and Lululemon are also entering into the connected home fitness space. Apple's Fitness Plus is an Apple Watch based exercise streaming service, and Lululemon's Mirror is a unique smart gym, which is on a mirror screen hybrid, which will walk you through different video game exercises. I do think that gamifying exercise is a really innovative public health intervention
mm-hmm.
because the rates of obesity in America is like almost 50%. So 1 out of every 2 Americans is overweight or obese. And so, providing incentives like that to sort of get people interested in exercising is a really cool way to do it. So I think hats off to them. But I mean, man, why would you spend $5,000 on an exercise bike to play a video game on said exercise bike when you can ride your actual bike outside in the real world?
For like $150 from Walmart.
You just can't replace that. You just can't replace that. So, but it does make sense to me as somebody who doesn't cycle outside in the winter because it's freaking cold.
Yeah.
So, you need to have those alternatives.
Yeah. No, I mean it makes sense. I mean I don't know. Just $5,000 seems like a lot, but that's cool that they're gamifying it.
Yeah. Mhm.
So. Yep. Yeah.
Anyways, um, yeah. You like being outside, right? Do you go outside a lot?
Not really. No.
Oh.
It's hot in the summer here and cold in the winter, and it's just like fall. Fall is like when I like to be outside when the wind is breezy, and it's just you can sit outside and it's like and
Yeah.
you don't I like it when I sit outside and I get up I don't hear because everything sticks. So
Leather.
right. So yeah, I don't spend a lot of time outside, not in the summer.
Well, if you live in London, England, and
London.
you are outside, this next article may be for you. Games Radar Plus journalist Hope Bellingham writes a new segment article about a public exhibition that is highlighting the diverse talent in video games, which is now running in downtown London.
Nice.
So, yeah, the ensemble was set up by Games London, who hosts several events and initiatives to highlight the video game industry in London, and is currently based at Guildhall Yard until August 9th before moving to Aldgate Square until the end of the month. So, the outdoor exhibition aims to highlight diverse talent in the BAME, which is Black, Asian, Minority, Ethnic UK video game community, by sharing and inspiring stories of a number of talented individuals within the industry, with the aim of promoting diversity, advocating for new voices, and changing perceptions.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah. Games London tweeted on Twitter, the ensemble, our exhibition celebrating diverse talent working in video games, is out on the streets of London for the next month. Check it out now at Guildhall Yard and later in August at Aldgate Square. And it's pretty cool. There's a bunch of I don't know, it's like square boxes that are set up, and it's like massive pictures of people, and then their story on the side, who they are, where they've come from, and what they've achieved within the video game industry. So if you live in London, check that out. You might be interested to see more about that.
Yeah, I think that's awesome because some kid's gonna be like, "Hey, that person looks like me. Maybe I can do that too," and that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's
that's cool.
exactly it, right?
Like
Yeah.
inspiring the new generation of coders, developers, and marketers and all that stuff
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
for our video games that we'll consume with abandon and criticize on Reddit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. um,
Reddit.
I wonder if you could see that from like Google Street View.
I don't know when it updates.
I mean, it would probably be online,
I'm sure.
right?
We can Google it.
God, I'm so old.
Why? How are you? Well, I mean, you're
I
younger
didn't
than
even
me.
I didn't even put two and two together that it would be on a website that you could just probably just read.
Yeah.
Like, can I look at it on Google Earth? Hello, Grandpa. Anyways, you like video game music? I love video game music. It's a big part of video games. You may not know this, but this next article comes from the New York Times, written by Kevin Draper. And Kevin goes on to say that some of the music during the Parade of Nations at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics was video game music. It
I
was
thought
video
this was
game
pretty cool.
composed soundtrack. So, yeah, he says, if the Parade of Nations reminded you of the climactic battle you once fought, or perhaps a title screen you clicked through 100 times, you're not wrong. These athletes were marching around Tokyo Stadium to songs of video games. And I think this is really cool. The organizers of Tokyo 2020 said that a quintessential part of Japanese culture that is loved around the world is video games. And so songs from popular games like Dragon Quest, Kingdom Hearts, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Final Fantasy have been featured within the opening ceremonies. So songs from Japan's best known video game studio, Nintendo, unfortunately, for some reason, seem to be missing from that,
Guessing because
which
of
is
rights.
which is like a rights thing. But like,
That's probably what it
how
is.
much money, Nintendo? How much money could you have made in royalties if you allowed them to play your what?
I don't know.
No Zelda, no Mario, no Pokemon.
I would have been real happy if like during like the fencing they played like the Final Fantasy VII like battle theme music, like when you get into a fight.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
The really stupid thing is that Nintendo has like every single year of Olympics, like Mario Olympics.
Oh yeah, that's true. They do, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
So like, come on, you got to work with us a little here, right?
Ah well. But
Yeah. I thought this was pretty cool, and I thought it was worth mentioning on the show because the Olympics is happening right now, and that's pretty cool. I think, video games are mainstream. They are mainstream now.
Oh
They're in
gosh,
every
yes.
home.
Gosh,
Almost.
yes. We finally
Right?
won the battle.
Finally.
We don't have to be
Battles.
looked at as weird anymore. Now it's like if you go to like school and you're like, "Hey, do you play video games?" and someone's like, "No," they're like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah, they do the hokey pokey and then they just turn themselves around.
But yeah. But I thought that was cool too. I haven't watched any of the Olympics. I'm not very interested. Although I did watch the skateboarding. That was absolutely fantastic. Did you see any of that?
No, I watched rowing, swimming, polo, tennis,
You freaking
and gymnastics.
So the skateboarding, a 13-year-old girl took the gold medal for the female skateboarding, and a 13-year-old female took the silver. Yeah,
I heard about that.
yeah, it was
And
like it was nasty.
let's
Their runs.
let's just acknowledge the number of women in both Canada and the US who have won gold medals. Actually, who have won medals at all. That's just fantastic. I think that that's wonderful.
Aren't there just whole sections devoted to women?
Well, I mean, it's worth pointing out that the only people who have won medals for Canada have been women so far.
Say again.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just was interested in the skateboarding because like I wanted to show my kid, the skateboarding side of things because
Yeah.
I've been
Well, did you
threatening.
play the new Tony Hawk? Is that
No, I haven't. I need to get it. I've been busy.
because you were all over it?
I know. I've been busy. I've been busy. I have a full-time job, a family, and a side job.
Yeah.
And this, whatever
Yeah.
this podcast is.
Hey, this is top priority content.
So, I think it might be time for Game Stunks.
Sure.
Do I have a bumper?
Maybe.
All right. So we've got. Am I supposed to turn this down? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. So we've got Sony, which is down by
Yeah.
$1.56, and that ended at $104.30. And then, what were we going to say? Something?
Nope.
Okay.
I was going to make a funny, but it's too late.
Oh.
Mm.
Microsoft is also down by $1.59. That closed at $284.91. Nintendo also down by $2.31, probably because they weren't in the Olympics. They closed at $64.25. Take Two.
This is the most they tanked since Martha Stewart went to prison.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Take Two is up by $3.43. Wow, big jump there for to end at $173.42. Activision closed at $83.62, and that's up by a nickel. Ubisoft is down by $53. Or sorry, not down by $53. It closed at $53.54, which is down 38 cents.
Sell.
Yeah, EA closed at $143.96. That is up 58 cents, and Tencent is down by 7 cents. They're down by 77 cents, and they closed at $62 and 20 cents. Yeah. So
we gotta get new writers.
we do. We're new hosts. So yeah, that's your GameStack. Do we have? It seems that we've got news.
These are a couple of stock related articles that I thought I would include.
Okay, so we've got some Netflix stuff here. Let's see here. Netflix's entry into video games makes the stock riskier. You know, that's true. It kind of does. Investing in the games. So the key points of this article, because I haven't read this, this is from the Motley Fool, by Parkev Tetsvosian. I don't know. I was being stupid there. Parkev Tetsvosian is the guy who wrote this. Some of the key points he has, because it's bulleted right here under the bolded key points. Investing in games could divert the company's focus from its core content, which is true. And the move has an upside, but uncertainty also adds a risk. And that's kind of true for the stock. I mean, we're not quite sure how Netflix is going to do this whole thing and how well received it's going to be. And if they start investing, nobody really knows how much money they make off their stuff. Like, they don't even release ratings on their
this is
shows.
this is not the first time that we've heard Netflix talk about video games and making video games, right? Like Stranger Things, Bear Grylls, those are both considered video games.
But they're licensed. It's not Netflix behind
right.
them, you know.
This is the first time in which they've confirmed that they're actually entering the market. And so yeah, it's going to be interesting. They're starting with mobile games. And we're going to see how that goes. Honestly, I don't know what to expect. Stranger Things was a mobile game, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that we don't really know the intricacies and background of Netflix. Like I said, we don't even know the ratings of their shows. Like, what makes it, like, yeah, we don't even know how much shows earn. So they could have more money than we expect, so the investment is just literally, like, not that big of a deal. But yeah, this will be interesting to see what happens and how it plays out. Should you invest into Netflix? That's a good question.
Well, let's just talk about what people can expect out of Netflix in terms of games itself. So the company said that mobile games would initially be offered for free to paying members. So if you already pay a Netflix subscription monthly, you'll have access to that video game content, which I think is kind of fair.
That is pretty cool.
There are another few things that come for free. Members will likely be asked to pay a higher subscription fee at a later time to compensate for the additional benefits. Not unsurprising.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that there are going to be some risks for sure, right? A
Well,
lot of
it's the
money is
stock
going to
market. There's
be
always risks.
invested, right? So we'll have to see what happens. I think that I think that this could potentially be a very good winner for Netflix.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it could be.
I think that they don't have a choice when we have companies like Apple and Google and Peloton and Amazon all entering the gaming market. Netflix has to.
It's just weird that they're a streaming service. I think that's what has people a little confused. You know, the Tim Allen grunt going through our heads, huh? When it comes
Yeah,
to like, why are they deciding to do it? But then again, I mean, like, even with Amazon, it doesn't make much sense because it's like, so the place that ships me stuff that I buy when I'm drunk is now making video games. Okay, um, sure, have money, will invest, but I don't know. But speaking of investing, Mr. Vendor, we have another article written by Brett Schaefer on the Motley Fool. The 3 video game stocks to buy right now if
ooh,
you've got $1,000 to spend.
$1,000 in my who doesn't have $1,000 in their pocket? Come
I
on.
I I certainly don't. But if I did, here are the 3 stocks that I would be thinking about buying according to the Motley Fool. Number 1 is Electronic Arts.
EA.
EA.
Okay. Hmm.
So EA has been pretty stable. Obviously, there's ups and downs going all over the place. They've recently acquired Glue Mobile for $2.1 billion to help bolster its mobile game market. So yeah, I mean they're doing some investing there. We'll see what happens. So that's one. Number 2 is Nintendo. They took a really sharp drop around like in between January 20 and July 20, like a really steep drop, and they've continued to go down. So maybe,
Didn't they pull out of E3?
well, I don't think they've been in E3 since last year or the year before, but
What
um,
happened? What happened in February, March?
I have no idea. But
I don't remember.
you know, the thing is maybe the whole reason that this is on the list is because it's down so low, so it's time to
It's a
invest.
good time to buy. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
maybe dropping a couple bucks on a couple Nintendo things in the hopes that it goes back up. So the third one is Activision Blizzard. Maybe considering the recent protests, you could bump this one off the list. But
Yeah, I don't know why they added this onto the list because this article was written 3 days ago. So Brett Schaefer, not sure, maybe you should go back to that financial course and think about that again.
I mean, it really depends.
Activision is one that's a watch. You got to keep an eye out on that one
Yeah, I mean,
because if they've got a massive lawsuit about women's rights, I wouldn't want to touch that company with anything. Until after it's all over,
that's
when their stock has totally plummeted and you can pick it up for a dime a dozen.
that's the whole thing. Get it in the middle of this lawsuit when it's going through, and then if they come out on the other side, okay, then it should go back up. So maybe it's
Mhm.
something to watch. Maybe that's why
Yeah.
it's on here. But I know that with the Call of Duty games as service platform that they're doing, there's always consistent market share in that regard because they're always pumping new content into that, and it will always have a player base.
Mhm.
Um, so we'll see how that goes. Also, on the side of EA, one of the reasons that that's on here too is the new Battlefield game that's coming out is also going to be kind of presented. I don't know if it's going to be as games as service, but it's definitely going to be make your own Battlefield game sort of smorgasbord. You can go in and
Cool.
create your own custom servers to kind of do
Are you
whatever you
going to
want.
play
So,
that?
yes, you can set up a custom game mode that is modern army versus Nazis. And why would I not want to play that out? Like you can like what they're doing is they're taking every Battlefield game pretty much and putting it into one, and then you can kind of build your own Battlefield scenario. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I would
Do they have Battlefield VR?
no, the closest thing to that is Pavlov maybe, um, which is like a first person FPS VR game. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but anyway,
Hmm.
so that's some of our stack stuff. Now this next segment, I wasn't. This is replacing our email segment.
This is new. This is a new segment. It's called What They're Playing.
Oh.
And it's normally at this point in the show we would talk about what we're playing, but because we added the new screenshots and stories channel to the Discord, I thought we could add people's screenshots and stories to the show. So
Did we let them know that we were going to do this?
no, they did not provide any consent. So yes,
Maybe we want to rethink this before we do
it's
it.
perfectly all right. If they post it in our Discord, they're giving the permission.
Okay. Well,
Consent is implicit. If you're posting it on a public platform, no, we've talked about this. We've talked about this over the last 3 episodes that we were going to do this, and this was the whole reason we created the channel. Rick, roll the pictures.
Okay. All right, so the first one we have here. Oh, where's that? Oh, I'm not on the main. There it is.
So RTZ13 kicked off our screenshots and stories channel, and I couldn't be more happy because he's been such an integral part of our community. And he asked people to post pictures about what their guilty pleasure was, and he posted this picture of SimCity.
I don't even know what this game is. It looks old school, like a 90s sim game.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm
not sure. I honestly don't know. I'm sure that he'll come into the Discord lobby mad saying that we didn't know and how could we not know. This really looks like SimCity to me. Those crops with the squares in them.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's that same vibe as like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but I'm not sure what.
Yeah.
That same era.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was a great era for sim games.
Oh, man, it's so good. I'm pretty sure that's SimCity.
All right.
It's one of the SimCities.
And then
and then Tim piped up and said and posted a picture of what is this, Metroid?
Yeah, Samus.
Samus, yeah. Posted this picture, and then of course RTZ responded by saying that they were playing Metroid after Tim's recommendation.
I don't think that's Metroid. I think it's a ninja game. It doesn't look like Metroid. Yeah, that's a ninja game. So I'm not sure, but apparently Tim recommended this game to him, and now RTZ is really digging it. But then we had another guilty pleasure post, which was Vexinator saying, he likes to take screenshots of Final Fantasy XIV. And we were noting how thick that guy's neck is.
Yes,
like Henry Rollins from the 90s neck.
It's almost as wide as his hat. Who has a neck? That is a neck. That is a neck.
A headbutt from that dude would break my skull.
You could use him as a wrecking ball.
My head. Do you remember that Miley Cyrus wrecking ball song?
We could break down wood gates with him, like just like boof, boof. 6 guys on each side.
Do you remember the Miley Cyrus wrecking ball song?
Yeah.
Did you ever see the Ron Jeremy cover version? Ron Jeremy does the video where he's on the ball, came in like a wrecking ball. It's naked.
It's great.
That's so amazing. I love it.
Somebody took the head of our premier here in Alberta, who is like basically a mini Trump, and photoshopped it onto a naked fat dude who is like swinging on a wrecking ball. And the joke is that he came into the province like a wrecking ball.
That was probably
just, like,
Ron Jeremy on a wrecking
the government.
ball.
Yeah.
I love that video. But yeah, so if you haven't joined the Discord, you can do that by clicking the link below us now, and then you can post the screenshots of what you're playing, and we'll probably share it without your consent or knowledge.
That was really fun. I like this segment. I think it's going to really take off. So yeah, we would love to see your video game pictures. I'm definitely going to post some in there.
I got to remember to take some screenshots. All right. So speaking of screenshots of what you're playing, what are you playing?
Rick, I haven't played all much of anything. COVID has picked up again, so I've been on call with a lot of cases, lots of vaccinated people who are testing positive. So I've been on the phone mostly. Playing Pandemic Simulator. So, yeah. Actually, no. What? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, which version of the shot did you guys get up there? Mostly. What was the majority of the company?
The vaccines that were approved in Canada were Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Moderna.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I don't think the Johnson & Johnson was approved.
Because I was going to say, I just saw a buddy who got Johnson & Johnson was a little worried because apparently it's not as protective against the Delta variant as the other ones are. But,
I think that having a vaccine is good because it
Well, it helps curb the. You can still get sick,
You
but
still get sick,
not as
but
sick.
you just don't end up in a
Right.
hospital.
Yeah.
And you're less likely to have very serious adverse
Yeah.
outcomes.
Most of the
So,
numbers down here of COVIDs are due to non-vaxxed people in the hospitals. So get your vaccine, folks. Anyway.
and yeah, I don't know. I don't want to do like a PSA about it, but I mean, you can still get sick after having
Yes.
been vaccinated.
But you
If
won't
you're
die.
unvaccinated, you are even now at even more of a risk, because it's just going to spread like wildfire to and all the people that we're seeing in the hospitals are people who are unvaccinated.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you that vaccines really actually do work.
Yeah. Get your vaccines, kids.
And they are effective. So, anyways, been
But
playing a
back
lot
to
of
your games.
Vaccine Simulator. I did. So Carlo and I like to play Phase 10.
Okay. Oh, that's a card game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of I should go. I'll grab my phone and I'm going to show you.
I can't entertain people on my own. Sponsored by Vigor Pithwood. It's lighter than air.
Okay. What the hell is that? Guitar strings?
No, it's Pithwood.
Soap?
No,
Pithwood.
Pithwood. Yeah.
You're so weird.
It says lighter than air on the box, but see, it's not. Actually, that does kind of float. No, it's for cleaning a record cutting styli. It's
okay.
Anyway.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of just like.
What are you doing?
I'm zooming so you can see it. Okay, this is the app. Okay, this is Phase 10, and you've got like this map where you have to like go to all these different things and do the battles.
Yeah.
With the people.
Battles with the people.
And there's like, you got to win 3 stars to move to the next level sometimes.
Okay.
And you can play with other people. There's a coin arena, and then there's also a play with friends. So Carlo and I and his mom, we play on our phones.
Nice.
Like remotely.
Oh, very cool.
Because we always play Phase 10 together, like in the house, just like chilling and eating snacks and playing card games. There's also this really weird like cat thing where there's these cats, and I'm not entirely sure where this fits in the app. There's just these cats everywhere, and you have to feed them.
Those cats.
And
your green screen is like tripping on that.
I know, because hold on, I just gotta feed them. And like I gotta fill their dish or they're gonna die. And then of course the frickin' game is riddled with ads.
Of course,
riddled with in-game microtransactions, and I am such a cheapo that I go in and I claim the coins. You can, if you watch an ad for 30 seconds, you can get like 200 free coins. So that's how I generate my in-game mobile app revenue for playing Phase 10.
What?
I gotta refocus my face.
I was gonna say
So, anyways, Phase 10's actually a lot of fun. It's really addictive. I have my set times that I play it, usually in the morning after my coffee when things start moving, and then also at lunch, and sometimes in the evening. So, yeah.
Okay then. Well, cool.
I am saving some gameplay. So Shalene and I did play It Takes Two, and it was absolutely awesome. You watched that, Rick. We had lots of fun.
It is fun to watch.
And we also did do the second tall tale of Pirate's Life in Sea of Thieves. But that story is way too epic for just you and I to tell it. We need Shalene here. So I'm going to table that for the next episode of GameStack. But I do want to talk about my Sea of Thieves gameplay with Archon and Shalene the other night.
Okay.
So we hopped on a brig, and we spawned in at Galleon's Grave, I think it was.
Okay.
And just loaded up the ship and couldn't decide on what we wanted to do. So we decided to do Order of Souls quests.
Scully Boys?
Yeah, like a legendary thing. And then just went and we're going to go fight Skellies. And we did a couple of fights at a couple islands, but then we noticed that there was a grade 5 Reaper on the map and they were heading right for us. Sunk us in about 3.8 seconds. Yeah, and I
sounds like they were well organized.
No, it was one guy on a sloop.
Oh, I bet you
Yeah.
guys felt real good about yourselves.
Yeah. Needless to say, I got a little bit rusty in my PvP in Sea of Thieves. It's been a while. So I made the executive call to hop servers. So we hopped servers and basically restarted the whole thing, but we weren't that far along in it.
Yeah.
We were only chapter 1 anyways. So we restarted, stocked our boat, head out, did all of the islands. It was 6 chapters. So it was like 9:15 by the time we actually finished, which
My
is like
gosh.
almost 1 a.m. or almost midnight for Archon, and he had to get up at 1:30 and go to work. So,
Ew.
but he was like dedicated and he wanted to finish it. I was super impressed actually. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It's always fun fighting skellies. My whole house just rumbled. That was a little unsettling. What's that?
Have you eaten lately? Is your tummy?
Yeah, I got gas.
No.
That was a little. Either we have a thunderstorm or there was an explosion.
You know,
But the show must go on.
one of the two.
That is my gameplay. What have you been up to?
Well, I've been playing. Actually, I've been playing some Sea of Thieves. My daughter was really interested in playing that game, and I gotta,
Really?
yeah, I got to play it with her again because she really liked
Oh my
it.
gosh!
So we played it for a little bit together, and I had one of the weirdest things happen. I was like, "Let's go do a gold hoarders quest," and she's like, "All right, let's do it." And so we have a sloop, and we're sailing out, and then the music changes, and I'm like, "It's a megalodon." So we're being attacked by megalodon, and it's a little chaotic because she's not quite familiar with all the controls and
And
whatnot. And
she was playing your character.
no, she had her own character.
Oh,
she's playing on her own instance, and I'm playing on my own instance. So she's got her
wow!
empire, and I got my
So
empire.
you're like in opposite rooms in the house
Yeah.
on it
Well,
on like a Discord call.
Yes, yeah, that's
That's
how it works.
awesome.
She's on her gaming laptop, and
You
whatnot.
guys are so technologically advanced.
That's why I said we're like, "Do you want to switch?" And she's like, "Nah." It's like, "What do you mean?"
She's not into consoles.
I guess not. I guess
PC
not,
Master Race, I guess. I don't know.
Well, then, like, today we confronted her about it. We're like, "We said we were going to get you one. You said no." She's like, "I didn't say no." She's like, she couldn't remember it at all. But anyway, so we're playing, and the megalodon cuts in front of us, and I couldn't turn out of the way, so we hit it head on, and the boat kind of does a backflip. Like, it shoots us straight up in the air, and the boat lands upside down in the sea.
You sent a picture of that.
Yeah, but like the thing
Glorious.
is, it didn't. I guess it landed in such a way where the physics kept it afloat.
Well, no, it's what is it? The fourth movie of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, when
where
the
they
ship
have
is upside
to
down.
flip the ship upside down.
Yeah, and it kept sailing. My daughter was knocked off the boat, and it kept I'm underwater at this point, and I'm watching it just sail off.
That's
And I'm
awesome.
like, what is going? So I hit the mermaid, and it puts you in the bottom of the ship, right side up in an upside down ship, and so you're glitching all around, and it's like trying to orient you to and it doesn't work, and then
Megs.
it glitches you out, and then like. So I was like, "Kid, we got to scuttle the ship because it just kept sailing. It didn't sink."
Do you have any loot?
No, we just
Okay.
we just started at gold hoarders, and so it was just like, let's just scuttle the thing. So we scuttled it and then spawned back in. I've never seen that though. It just kept sailing upside down. You would see it underwater, and the sail was up and flapping like the wind was in it, and it just it was the funniest thing. And so we do that. We end up doing the gold hoarders quest. I let her dig up the treasure. She really liked that, and then we put it back on the boat and we sailed it back. We did it, and then about that time I had to do some lathe work. So I was like, "I'll tell you what, you do the tutorial, and then just do the tutorial. You'll have fun with that." So she did the tutorial, and I walked downstairs, and she's on an island, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm finding my own treasure." So like on her own. In this game, she was able to like pick up a mission and then get the boat sailing to another island by herself. And
Oh, she'll be
Yeah.
seaworthy in
Well,
no time.
well, like I'm watching her play, and I see her boat drifting, and I'm like, did you put the anchor down? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, then I don't think you did. Why is it moving? And she's like, well, I thought I did. And as she walks over to it, it just goes and starts sinking. And she goes, oh yeah, I hit the island and forgot to patch it. So she nails the island, puts the anchor down, and it's just filling up with water. And so it moving was it going out to deeper water so it could sink. so, but she was laughing and having a good time with it. So she I said I was going to play Sea of Thieves this evening, and she's like, "Oh, I want to play with you and your friends." So I think one of these times we're going
Oh,
to have
I
her.
would love to play with
We'll have to
her.
have her
Well,
on.
we can just boot Archin.
So I think what we'll have to do is we'll have to do a server join where like I get on a sloop with her, and then you guys get a brig, and then we'll start
Yeah, if we can
a
try
thing,
to get
the same
if we
server.
can try to get two on the same server, that would be awesome.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so she's so I
That would be
played.
so much
It would be.
fun.
So I played that. I got back into Guild Wars actually.
Oh,
Yeah, they've kind of changed a lot about it, and I just started getting back into it. And um, I remember when I got out of it, I was trying to get into raiding, so I was learning the patterns of the Mesmer class to like figure out how to do the most DPS. And so I started a new character, and I just want to kind of get back into using a Mesmer again because I really like Mesmers, and I would like to raid. I haven't done that before. My wife is a part of a guild that does raiding every Saturday, and they do fairly well. So I think I can join that and do okay. But the new like chapter story line is coming out soon, so I want to kind of get caught up in that sort of thing and play some Guild Wars because it is a lot of fun. I burnt out on the grind to get the gear, but I found out that the way that the new rating system works and how good this guild is, like I could play with the gear that I have and be okay. So I don't
mhm.
have to like grind and grind and grind to try to get specific types of gear. So I was like, because that's what kills me in video games is that that grind where you're just doing. I just hate that. So I've been playing Guild Wars a little bit. Cyberpunk is such a letdown these days. They've broken it. It was working for me. Now it's broken really bad.
Really?
Yeah, and like the problem with Cyberpunk, there's a lot of problems with Cyberpunk, but I would say the depressing thing about Cyberpunk is it gave me some of the most memorable moments of total immersion where there's scenes when you're with the character and you're just driving through Night City at night and it's raining and you're the passenger and you're just looking out the window at all the neon signs and buildings and the radio's playing a song or even like I cannot begin to explain how amazing the romance is between the main character and one of the romance options. In this case, it was I can't think of her name, but the romance storyline was it felt so much like a teenager's romance kind of thing. And some of the music that happens in that game, some of the moments in that game, just so awesome.
Oh, well, I remember watching you play it
And
and just
then
like being able to go up and order ramen.
and but like yeah, but then like you have these beautiful immersion moments, and then a car just falls out of nowhere, and you're like,
Well, I mean,
there goes that, you know. But like now, so like that was before, but now that I played the game after they've like patched it, cars don't render right, people don't render right. More glitches happen with people not loading properly. It's just
yeah.
it's gotten so much worse. Um, and it's just it's so sad because I want to have those moments again of just this. Yeah, I just really wanted to have these beautiful moments again, but it's so broken.
I'm really glad I didn't buy Cyberpunk. I was kind of stoked about it, but I've learned to let you play it first and then and then
uh, I am very glad I had that initial experience the whole way through of it being workable. At when I see the level I say workable when I had it was like Bethesda level of function where you'll get glitches, sometimes they break the game, but they're just little things that just annoy you. So it's not game breaking, but now it's immersion and game breaking, and it's just
yeah,
it's
yeah.
sad. So I don't think it's ever going to recover, which is sad. But that's kind of all I've been playing. So yeah, I think that's a show.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, just want to shout out our sponsor again, Oak and Crow Coffee. Head to oakandcrow.com to get your very own bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, which is pop
Peru,
quiz.
Cajamarca, Guatemala, Tenango.
There you go. So yeah, head to the artist page on oakandcrow.com and scroll down to where you get to We Just Love Coffee. Buy that. Every $2 goes to the Children's Miracle Network Fund, specifically Johns Hopkins Children's Medical Center, because that place is awesome. You can email us at info@wejustlovegames.com. We always like to hear your lovely comments. You can reach out to us on Twitter at We Just Love Games or at Shalene L, at me at Rick McVick, and at Vendertron at VendertronIn. Facebook.com/We Just Love Games is where we're at, along with Facebook.com/groups/We Just Love Games. You can find us on Discord by going to the link below us right now, or messaging one of us, or sending us an email. We'll get you the link that you need. We record live every Friday at 6:30 Mountain, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time here at twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. And next Friday will be an episode of that Fallout show. We're on YouTube as well, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Twitch, and Stitcher Radio. Please like and subscribe and review. Thank you so much for listening. And again, we want to remind you that we've dedicated this episode to Shalene's grandmother who passed away this week. And we are thinking about Shalene. Miss her dearly. And please send her all the love in the world that you can. Vender, any last words?
Your song may have ended, but your melody will be with us forever.